All right, again, I'm going to be skipping around in this chapter, and we're going to go to 4.9, and we're going to be talking about differences with variable expressions. And our key here again is that we are only able to combine like terms. Combine. That means, remember again, if I can always add 3 plus 4 into 7 because they are like terms. They're similar. I can add them. And I can add 3x plus 5x to get 8x because they're like terms. But if I have something like 3x plus 5y, I can't add them. They're different terms and they're different units. They're totally separate. Now, if I knew what x and y were, I could simplify my expression and then be able to come up with what it was equal to. But I often can't. So this, all I can do to simplify it is to leave it alone. 3x plus 5y. So what we're going to do in this section is pretty easy, but they're going to be asking you to combine like terms using the subtraction and the differences models that we've been using before. Now, you don't need to build a number line if you don't want to. You can if you'd like, but I want to show you a couple of examples of what kind of problems are going to appear in this section. All right, so let's do example 1. It might say, let me find some that I like in here. We're going to say we have negative 10n minus negative 8n. All right, so this should, a couple things we need to check first. Are they like terms? Yes, they're like terms. So we can add these n's together. Now I say add, even though they're subtracting, but when I say add, it's like combining. And I really need to figure out which direction or what I'm doing. So here, I can recall from the last section that we just did, I can simplify this 10n to plus 8n, because the opposite of a negative is a positive. So now I have negative 10n plus 8n. I can add them just like I would regular numbers. And if I built my number line, blah, 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 I have negative 10 and I have 0. I'm going to start at negative 10 and I'm going to move 8 this direction. And I'm going to end at 2 because I should be able to see that in my head on how it's going. Okay? So my answer is going to be 2n. Now I always need to take the variables with me, whatever I'm adding and whatever I'm subtracting before that. Okay? Let's take a look at a couple more. I'll go quick so that if you want to slow down and go back, you can do that. Take a look at this. We're going to look at negative 33b minus negative 18b plus 7. All right, so in this case, I'm going to look, what like terms can I combine? Okay, well, I can combine this one. Yes, check. This one, yes. But this 7 is, I can't do anything with that 7 because there's no other numbers that don't have a variable with them. So I'm not going to be able to simplify that part. But here I can write negative 33b, negative of, or the opposite of a negative is a positive, plus 18b plus 7. And I can think of this in my head. I can say 33 minus 18, right? 3 minus 8, ugh. And I can have 5 is going to be 15, right? 15 left. And I know that 15 is going to be negative because 33 is not quite far enough to get back to positive. So I'm going to end up with 15b, a negative 15b, plus 7. And that gets me to my answer. Right? Yeah. Often these number lines are going to be the best way to think about how to do them. Example 3. All right. Simplify. Oops, excuse me. We're going to simplify negative 9a minus negative 3a plus 6 minus 2. All right, now in this case, I'm going to look for like terms that I can combine. And I can see that these can be combined, and these can also be combined because they are similar things. So I can rewrite them to make it a little bit easier to see. I have negative 9a plus 3a plus, and I can do this in my head, 4. So now I have negative 9a plus 3a. So remember, I'm starting with a negative, and I'm moving right along my number line. So again, if I were to draw this out, I would be at negative 9, and I'd be moving this direction 3. 1, 2, 3. That's like 9 minus 3. So I can get to see that I can get to 6a plus 4. All right? And this would be my answer for this. The big key to remember in this section is that you can only combine those like terms, and that you don't want to combine things that don't belong. You're also going to want to remember to take the negatives, or take the opposite of an opposite and simplify it into a positive. All right? Good luck.